Welcome to this episode of the planDisney podcast, presented by State Farm. With State Farm, you can personalize your policy with options to help you find a surprisingly great rate. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. I'm your host, your ghost host, Amiyrah Martin, and a big thank you to Master Gracie and the Happy Haunts here at the Haunted Mansion for hosting this very special episode where we'll be chatting inside the iconic ballroom scene here at the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland Resort. On this episode, we're gonna talk all things Halloween and holiday time at Disneyland, Disney World, and aboard the Disney Cruise Line. Plus, we'll be talking with the Walt Disney Imagineer about some of the recent home improvements here at the Disneyland Haunted Mansion. So let's get started. We have our wonderful guests. I see you guys down there. Hello.
Hi.
I am so excited that you all are here. Look where we are.
I know.
Can you believe it?
Crazy, right?
Are you shocked, first of all? And how cool is this that we get to chat today inside the Haunted Mansion?
Incredible. The
I
cool
know,
factor's off
isn't
the
it
charts.
so fun?
Spectacular.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so first and foremost, let's meet the beautiful panelists. Can you guys give me some introductions? Adrianna, I'd love to start with you.
Yes, I am Adrianna. This is my first year on the planDisney panel. And over at planDisney.com, my fellow panelists and I are helping guests plan their Disney vacations. So they ask a question about Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Vacation Club, or Disney Cruise Line, and we answer them, help them plan wonderful vacations. And my specialty on the panel is Disney Cruise Line.
Ooh.
And my sailing party includes my husband and our 2 children. We live in Southern California. We love to explore and have a great time. And the inner child in me is freaking out right now. I cannot believe we're here.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that you're here. Okay, Jennifer.
Well,
Beautiful Jennifer.
thank you. I am Jennifer from Virginia. My cast of characters includes my husband, my 6-year-old son, and my 10-year-old daughter. I am a first-year planDisney panelist specializing in Walt Disney World, and I grew up visiting Walt Disney World with my parents and my grandparents, so multi-generational visits are really in my DNA, and so now my parents still love to enjoy the magic. My in-laws are Disney Vacation Club members. We most often visit the parks as a party of 6, and it's always a party. There's always something to celebrate at Disney, and I can't believe that I'm here, my first time in Disneyland, talking about 2 of my favorite celebrations.
Yes, so fun. Okay, Jen, we need to know all about you.
Yes. Hi, everybody. My name is Jin. I have a beautiful wife and 2 little kiddos. My daughter, she's 5, super into princesses. And my son, he's almost a year and a half. I'm hoping he gets into Star Wars as I do. This is my first year on the panel. Super excited to be here, right?
Yes.
And I am a Disneyland specialist. So happy to start chatting with y'all.
I know, we're so excited to be here, and I feel like we're gonna talk a lot, especially about these holidays. Now, recently, the Disney Parks blog celebrated halfway to Halloween, and they made announcements, DIYs, and they shared even more with us over there. So for more on that fun, you can catch up over at the disneyparksblog.com/Halloween. But we need to get down to business today. Are you guys ready to talk all things Halloween?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, oh my gosh, I think we need to start with Walt Disney World, Jennifer.
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
Rap on a table. It's time to respond. I bring you a message from somewhere beyond. I just had to channel in this
I
moment
needed that,
my
yes.
inner Madame Leota because I'm so excited about Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party returning to Walt Disney World.
Yay!
Happy dance. So this is a separately ticketed event, meaning that you don't have to worry about an additional admission or theme park reservation to get you into Magic Kingdom. Now, the party dates start in mid-August and tickets are actually on sale now. So I do recommend that folks buy their tickets in advance, especially for Halloween night. Weekends leading up to Halloween too, they really sell out quickly. And
Right.
just something for your brain bank is that guests of Disney hotels can actually have access to purchasing these seasonal special event tickets in advance, which is a huge
wow.
perk. I know for my family, my kids are hoping to experience their first Halloween party this year. In the past, it's just been the adults. And so I'm actually going to make them sign a nap agreement because, I mean, come on, this is a long night, right? And so
Right.
there's so much to look forward to. So there's fireworks returning this year. There's unique character meet and greets. The Boo to You parade, which I definitely recommend stretching if you can.
Oh my gosh.
That nap agreement, stretching to the second parade. There's usually a less dense crowd.
Okay.
And then the place where I recommend watching the parade is Frontierland or Liberty Square, because you can head straight to Big Thunder Mountain or Haunted Mansion before the Main Street crowds get there. Although in general, the attraction wait times are going to be a lot less because it's a lesser crowd in the park attending the party. So you don't have to worry about Genie Plus. It's not even an option during the party. And that's just a really great time to get shorter lines as well as after the fireworks. Now, the Sanderson sisters are also going to be returning with the Hocus Pocus Villain Spectacular.
I love that.
Yeah, that's definitely a guest favorite. And then it's Halloween, right? So trick-or-treating is a thing. And new this year, there's going to be these reusable treat bags.
Oh, wow.
And I think that's a great idea, a great souvenir. So how it works is when you sign in and check in for the party, you get your wristband, you get the guide map that you should really go through as a family and mark off those family must-dos. And then you get your treat bag. Now, I know for families with food allergies that trick-or-treating can be a little bit of a concern, but really not at Disney. I mean, my niece has several food allergies, and growing up going to the parks with her, I could see just how above and beyond Disney goes to really take care of those food allergies and make sure everybody feels safe and has options. So the way it's worked in the past is if you have a food allergy, you get a different kind of bag. And then when you go around to the different trick-or-treating locations, they give you a token instead of the candy, and you redeem the tokens at like a central location later in the evening.
That's
all sorts
so
of
smart.
allergy-friendly treats.
Yeah.
So I just love that option. Now, another take-home souvenir this year is going to be a commemorative print. And I can't wait to see what they come up with for like the 50th anniversary,
Right.
which will be continuing because it's an 18-month celebration that started in October. So it's still going to be going strong this October. So that's really cool. And then, of course, Halloween, trick-or-treating, costumes. So tons of photo ops to take advantage of while you and your family, adults and kids, are in their costume. New this year are going to be some like walk-in photo ops. So think the Festival of the Arts at EPCOT, like where you could step into the Peter Pan storybook. I can't wait to see what they come up with. It's going to be really, really neat. And then just a word about costumes. There are some regulations you want to read over beforehand to make sure, for example, no full face covered masks.
Yes.
And then just you're in Florida and it's hot in Florida.
Right.
So in my own experience, a few years back, I had one of my hottest park days at the Halloween party, and a member of my party was dressed as a lion, and he will confirm that no costume is worth melting for. And I think, Adrianna, you agree, right? You have some experience.
Yes, my son was Gus and full on fur costume, the gloves. My friend made it. It was so adorable. We had some lovely pictures, but then the costume came off because we were very warm. So definitely keep the heat in mind when you're planning your costume.
Yeah. Hot tip right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hot tip, right?
But so much to look forward to with the return of the party this year.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I know everybody's so excited about that. Now, it's not just the parties. There's so much going on, especially during the fall time at Walt Disney World. So we have decor that we can be looking out for as well, right?
Absolutely. So all sorts of decor. Now, if you're looking for like a character dining experience, which they're so popular, Minnie's Halloween Dine at Hollywood and Vine at Hollywood Studios is a great option. You do want to get those advance reservations if you can, 60 days in advance. But to see Minnie and her friends just all decked out for Halloween is really quite special. And it pairs well with a ride on the Tower of Terror, but definitely do Tower of Terror first, just, because your belly's going to fill up a little bit later. But there's also lots of fun seasonal things to do at the Disney resorts. I know we stayed at Saratoga Springs this Halloween, and my son could have spent a whole day at Community Hall. When we just checked in on our check-in day, we walked through. Oh my goodness, there was coloring stations set up. A cast member gave us a whole thick packet of coloring with crayons to take back to our resort, which was perfect when he was getting up a little bit earlier than I was in the mornings. games, and all sorts of seasonal crafts. Some were complimentary, some at a charge. Now, our panelist pal, Mandy, recommends taking a picture of the activities board at your resort.
Oh, brilliant
That's
tip.
smart.
Such a great tip,
Yeah.
because you can keep that in mind when you're planning out your resort day. If it's pool games, there's seasonal activities, movies under the stars. You just want to have that in mind for your specific resort, because there's something for everybody. And in terms of the guests at Fort Wilderness in particular, they will for sure be able to see their own guest creativity, because the guests really go all out at that resort.
They do.
And unless you're a guest or have an advanced dining reservation at, for example, Trails End, then you wouldn't be able to access those decorations. But if you are looking for an excuse to make a reservation for the almost open Hoop-Dee-Doo Review, I think it opens again in June, here's your excuse, right? It would be perfect. But speaking of food, you got fall, you got the Food and Wine Festival at EPCOT, and those global marketplaces are just really the taste of the season. My personal favorite is the cheddar bacon soup in Canada. But if you plan on really going around to all those marketplaces, there's an exclusive festival gift card wristlet that just makes it really easy to access all of the different marketplaces. But there's treats all over, not just at EPCOT, and it's hard to keep track. I mean, especially of when are things available, when are new things dropping. So the Disney Parks blog does a great job of dropping these foodie guides.
Oh, yeah.
There's foodie guides for all of the EPCOT festivals, but they even get specific. Like this past year, there was a Fall Treats at Disney Springs foodie guide. And I think those are just a really great resource to look at before your trip, as well as perusing the menus on your My Disney Experience app, because you can actually see, where can I find the frozen apple cider at Hollywood Studios? Is it available mobile order? Like, just know before you go is a really great tip. But the real treat is just being together at Disney World.
It really is. And I love that we get to take so many voyages during that time, that part of the holiday. But it's like you get a culinary voyage, you get a voyage of checking everything out, all the decor. And I know, speaking of voyages, I feel like this is the perfect transition for you, Adrianna. When it comes to Halloween overseas, on the seas, what are some of the things that we can expect if we book a cruise?
Yes, well, the Disney Cruise Line does not miss out. They get into the Halloween spirit too with Halloween on the High Seas voyages. And something I love about these experiences is that it's in addition to all the wonderful things that you can expect on a Disney cruise.
Right.
So there was a guest that asked recently, will I still be able to experience immersive dining and the menus that I want to see? Yes, the answer is yes. The menus don't change. You're going to still be able to go to those amazing restaurants and experience all that. You just get all this fun in addition to it. So when you step on the ship, you walk into the atrium, you're going to see the pumpkin tree, and it's so beautiful. It's the perfect place for a photo op. Now, I'm a little unique, and I send Halloween cards instead of your traditional holiday cards. So one of my favorites was a photo that my family took in front of this pumpkin tree.
Aww.
It was really great. So great photo opportunities there. In addition to that, there are lots of activities that are being offered. When you step onto the ship, you can open the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app, and that's when you see your activity schedule for the whole cruise. And you'll be able to spot when the activities are coming up, things like Halloween crafts, Mickey's Masquerade Party, which is a favorite of mine. Wear your costume. Make sure you pack a costume. It can be a lion costume or a Gus Gus costume because it's a little more weather controlled.
You'll get a breeze on the ship. Yes.
Yes. So this masquerade party is really high energy, fun. Like Mickey and Minnie and friends are dancing, having a great time. So if you like to dance, like music, little ones, get on in and have a great time. Chip and Dale, they've got some serious moves.
Really?
I was so envious of their dance moves. Go for it is very entertaining. It is so entertaining. And speaking of the characters on board, you're going to get an opportunity to meet and get up close and have a great time with those Disney characters wearing their Halloween best, which I absolutely love. And I am so excited to share that there is a new trio this year. So Minnie Mouse, Daisy Duck, Clarabelle Cow are all going to be dressed as the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus.
I know,
That's so
right?
cool.
I love that movie, and I cannot wait. Like, that's my photo op. Maybe it's going to be the Halloween card for this year.
That's
I
so
would
cool.
love that.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Yes.
Can't wait to get it.
And we know that Halloween is not just for kids. Halloween's for me.
Absolutely.
Halloween's for you.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Halloween's for all of us,
Yes.
right? So there are some fun adult exclusive opportunities. The Halloween isn't just for kids party. This is where you're going to want to don your best costume. There's a costume contest with different categories like best group, most Disney, most unique. So Disney guests don't play. Like, they show up, it's a good time. And even if you're not all decked out, it's something to go check out. Very, very entertaining. I also think that if all that excitement is just, so much fun and you need a chance to relax, there are Halloween movies that play on the Funnel Vision, which is this giant screen by the pool. And our family tradition is to get an ice cream cone late at night, go watch a movie, have a good time. And if you just want to be in your stateroom, those Halloween movies are in the stateroom as well. And you can order a Mickey bar from room service and have your own little ice cream party in your room. So much to enjoy, look forward to. I personally love those voyages so much.
Oh my gosh. Now, you've got me all excited. Now, what are the dates? I need to know my dates so when I can.
Yes, good point. So these are in September and October.
Okay.
They have 3 to 8 night itineraries, so you can choose what's the best length for you. And they sail from Miami, New York, Port Canaveral, San Diego, and they're even on the brand new Disney Wish.
Ooh, yay.
Can we,
oh my
can
gosh.
we already book these? Or,
Yes.
Okay. All right. We got to do that
I
after
know,
this.
right?
All right. You ready? Now, Jen, we need to know about Disneyland. Now, I know they do it big for Halloween. So tell us all the things we need to know.
Yes, I mean, obviously we can't forget about Disneyland, right? So they go all out with decor. The Halloween decor, it's throughout the whole resort. So Disneyland, California Adventure, the hotels, downtown Disney. And like my personal favorite, and I think a fan favorite, and which makes a great photo op, is this huge Mickey pumpkin on Main Street. This is probably great for like your Halloween, photos.
Halloween
So
card, yeah.
it's huge. Where else are you gonna find a giant Mickey pumpkin? So it's something that we love seeing whenever we go around this time of the year, and so it's great. And speaking of the holiday decor, the Halloween decor, we also have character outfits throughout with the Halloween theme. And so my daughter, she loves taking pics with, Mickey, Minnie, all his pals. I think everybody has heard that traditional meet and greets are back now, so we can give them hugs. I know that's something that she's been looking forward to forever. So last year, Mickey and Minnie, they had special Halloween outfits. Mickey had this cool kind of vampire-y orange suit, and Minnie had a really pretty gray kitty cat outfit. This year, they're gonna have 2 new outfits for Mickey and Minnie. It has this homemade theme to it. Mickey's gonna be in a pumpkin kind of suit, and Minnie's gonna have a really pretty purple kitty cat outfit. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, my daughter's gonna, she's looking. I'm sure when she finds out, I let her know she's gonna be looking forward to it. And I hear that some of Mickey and Minnie's pals are also gonna have new looks, so something to look forward to. Yeah.
I love that. Now, one thing that I know Disneyland does really well is they celebrate Dia de los Muertos as well. So can you tell us a little bit more about what that entails and what we'll find in the parks?
Yeah, so Coco is one of my favorite Pixar movies.
Love that movie.
And that movie focuses on this Mexican tradition of Dia de los Muertos. And so what's really cool is that you can celebrate this at both California Adventure and Disneyland during the fall. At California Adventure, they have an event called Plaza de la Familia. And it's really cool because they have different events going on. They have a Coco musical that you can watch, other shows, music. They have great photo ops with Miguel. He's like the main character in Coco. Arts and crafts chances. And
fun.
at Disneyland, they have a really cool Dia de los Muertos display that, great for photo ops.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like so much fun. Now, we talked about Dia de los Muertos, but I think there's a bash we need to be talking about. That's a big deal.
So, super big deal. The Oogie Boogie Bash is coming back this year.
Yes, that is a
Right?
family tradition.
Yeah.
Great.
I think a lot of people are stoked about it. It started in 2019. Last year, it was huge. When the tickets sales went, the popular dates sold out immediately. So, hot tip, check keep your eyes on the Disney Parks blog. Look for the ticket sale announcements, and when they do, mark that in your calendar so that way, as soon as the tickets go on sale, you can get the dates that you want.
Great.
Because I'm sure it's going to sell out immediately again. And I think, when you think about Halloween, right, I think everybody thinks trick-or-treating. So the Oogie Boogie Bash is great because, they have all these different events going on, but my favorite is the trick-or-treating. So they have different trick-or-treating trails there. They have a couple regular ones where they have healthy food options. I think parents can appreciate that, right, Adrianna?
Get those carrots and those kids before the candy hits.
Exactly. But I think what sets it apart and what makes it really unique are the immersive trails. So last year, they had 8 different immersive trails. And on these trails, you get to interact with Disney villains, as you go trick-or-treating.
Yeah, who
right?
doesn't want to be heckled by like the evil queen?
Yeah.
It's a dream. It's a dream.
Yeah, so I think they had Evil Queen, they had Maleficent, and of course, Oogie Boogie. Super cool, very unique. I mean, you're not going to get this anywhere else. I think it's the coolest trick-or-treating experience that you can get, so.
I love it.
Yeah.
So one thing you have to tell us about, Jen, are the overlays here at Disneyland. And I know they're a big deal for Halloween. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Yes, the Halloween overlays are amazing. Something for everybody, all ages. Kids that are a little bit older and adults, the Guardians ride, it changes to Guardians Monsters After Dark.
Ooh.
It's a little bit scarier, a little bit creepier, perfect for Halloween.
Yes.
Yes, it is spooky. It is good for my 9 and 11-year-olds.
Oh, that's perfect.
But my daughter, she's 5, and so it might be a little bit scary for her. So what's perfect is Cars Land. Cars Land is decked out in the Halloween decor, and the rides, Luigi and Mater's rides, they have an overlay. And it's great because they play Halloween music, with the Cars Land twist to it. It's perfect. You can ride it over and over, and there's different songs that play each time you go on. And I think what's the best, what my daughter looks forward to, is the Halloween outfits that the cars have.
They're
my
so
gosh.
adorable.
Yeah. So Mater, he is a vampire. In years past, Lightning McQueen has a superhero outfit. So very fun, great photo ops. But my favorite, it's where we're at.
Yes.
The Haunted Mansion gets a holiday overlay, and it's coming back.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
And it's super fun because it's where Jack Skellington, he takes over the Haunted Mansion. He decks it out in the Nightmare Before Christmas theme, and it is so fun. It lasts throughout the Halloween season, and it's something that I look forward to every year.
Something I think too is that it's a little less spooky than the original attraction. So maybe if you think your kids are ready, it's a good time to get them on it.
Yes.
Exactly.
Little tippy toe with Jack Skellington. I
Yeah.
love it. Now, speaking of the Haunted Mansion, we actually got a chance to catch up with Walt Disney Imagineer John Gritz to talk about the recent home improvements here at the Haunted Mansion. Hi, John. Welcome to the podcast. We're so excited to have you here.
Oh, I'm excited to be here too.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, I have so many questions for you because you have one of the coolest jobs ever.
Oh.
Now, can you tell us a little bit more about you and your role at Walt Disney Imagineering?
Well, my official title is Principal Concept Designer, which sounds pretty highfalutin, but we do everything from the drawings to getting down into the dust and dirt and the particulars of doing the illusions and effects and things, and especially in the Haunted Mansion.
Oh, yes, I know. And we're here. That's why we have you here today. We're going to ask you so many questions about the Haunted Mansion, but I want to take it back a little bit because I hear that you used to build haunted houses.
Well, I was actually here at the Haunted Mansion on opening day, and that had a huge influence on us. The fact that the mansion has this kind of like macabre, creepy feel to it. It's not so much about like really being scared.
Right.
I must say we used that in our own haunted house. And, we didn't have a lot of money, so we also tried to use a lot of inventiveness, and we literally bought tire pumps and used them as pistons and animatronic characters, and, did everything that we could to make a really exciting haunted house, but frankly, on a pretty strict budget most of the time.
I can just imagine that. Now, you say the Haunted Mansion inspired you building your own haunted houses. Now, is there anything that you did when you started building your haunted houses that you have now transitioned into your position that you're in now?
Well, I would say just generally the feeling, we always tried to have a cohesive story and not just a bunch of things that happened.
Right.
And so anytime we do anything in the Haunted Mansion, first of all, we're so careful because the story is so extremely important to us. But I always carry forward that feeling that the story is the most important part, not the technology or, anything extraneous like that.
Oh, I love that. And that makes sense because I hear that you're the wizard of special effects. That's a phrase that has been tossed around with your name.
Gosh, well, I always think of the wizards being the original Imagineers that, they had this bag of tricks, but they were always inventing things outside of the bag of tricks and popping them into all of the things they designed. And so it's an honor to be called a wizard, but I always think, we, like Walt Disney said, we stood on the shoulders of giants.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, speaking of effects, though, what's one of your favorite effects here at the Haunted Mansion?
Well, when they did the holiday overlay for the first time, they wanted to redo Madame Leota. And some of the listeners may know that the original Madame Leota was our current art director, Kim Irvine's mom, Leota Toombs. So we decided and determined that we wanted to really bring that kind of family tradition forward. So as the only guy who had ever done life masks, which is very scary, smearing stuff all over somebody's face and letting it harden and all this thing, I had to do the life mask of Kim Irvine. And that was, we'll just say, frightening. But I guess that's appropriate in a way. And I was also involved in the filming of the clips that are used and everything. And so I'd say it has a special place in my heart for sure.
Oh my gosh. And just so many memories there. And you did it. Obviously, you did a very good job.
Oh, well, I hope so. We'll let the guests be the judge of that. But, I'm...
Now, the Haunted Mansion has had some recent home improvements, including the April to December portrait, which I know is really popular.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit more about some of those improvements that we may see?
Yes, we really found out that the April to December portrait was extremely popular with our guests, especially those that love the Haunted Mansion, of course. And so recently we had the opportunity to add her back into the portrait gallery right at the end. And we had something else really exciting we could do. Originally, Mark Davis did 6 different paintings of the different phases of her life. But with the technology of the time, it wasn't really possible for them to use all 6 of those images. So she just went from young to old, from April to December. But originally, there were these 6 glass slides that I brought along just as a little
Disney magic.
The past. Yeah. What we did when we added her in, the technology now allows us to use those 6 different images. So we finally brought an effect to the Haunted Mansion that the original Imagineers were trying to do and at the time couldn't really manage.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
Yeah, it was really kind of feeling like really bookending an original idea and finally bringing it to reality.
Now, can you share with us maybe a favorite detail or story that our listeners should keep a lookout for when they're visiting the Disneyland Haunted Mansion?
Well, there's so many stories in the mansion and so many stories of us being here too. But one of my favorites is when we did the disappearing head portraits for the new bride scene.
Yes.
We had to do those while the mansion was open to the guests because we don't want to, we don't want to disappoint the guests who come to the park.
Right.
So we had them all shrouded. So when guests would go through, there was this big mystery and big guessing game about what on earth could be under these shrouds. What is coming to the mansion? What is coming back? And we would read these guesses and be really amused by some of them for sure. And some of them were dangerously close to what we actually were doing. But when I go through the mansion today and see those the portraits, I always remember all of these guesses and what we actually did that I think really did add some excitement and to our guest experience.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And there's always mystery going on here at the Haunted Mansion.
Oh yeah, well we certainly hope so. That it's part of the story is all about the mystery.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for being here, John. We had such a great time with you and we hope to see you again soon.
Well, thank you very much for having me. And it's really an honor and very exciting to be here in the Haunted Mansion.
So welcome back, panelists. Now, we talked all things Halloween, so I feel like since the overlay here at Haunted Mansion goes through the holiday season, we might as well talk a little holiday season.
Let's
Don't
do
you think
it.
that's a good idea?
That's a good idea.
And you know what? Since we're here at Disneyland, Let's start with you, Jen. You have the floor.
Awesome. So the holiday overlays are great at Disneyland. Cars Land again is decked out in holiday decor, but my personal favorite, our family favorite, is It's a Small World.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the overlay is amazing because the outside of the building, the facade has these beautiful lights, and when it becomes dark, in the evening time, they have light projection shows on there, and it's pretty, and it's something to watch when you're online. But a lot of people actually come to visit to watch that, without even going on the ride. It's great.
You have to go on the ride.
Yeah.
Though. It's gorgeous inside. The end scene
Yeah.
is so lovely.
So in the ride, speaking of that, in the ride, it has the holiday overlay in the ride. And of course, you hear that It's a Small World playing, but on different parts of the ride, they actually play other songs too, like Jingle Bells. So it's super cool. It's a little bit different. And the ride, my daughter will want to go on it over and over and over again.
Oh,
Thank
Oh,
you for that,
boy.
Jen.
I know.
Thank you.
What can I
It's
say?
gonna be stuck in my head now.
You're
but,
welcome.
And speaking of overlays, the holiday decor throughout the resort is beautiful. Again, like the whole resort gets in on it. Disneyland, California Adventure, the hotels, downtown Disney. And for me, it's always been a great memory, walking down Main Street, the huge Christmas tree there, surrounded by holiday decor. It's a feeling that, I still get the chills every time I do that with my family. And then something I look forward to every year is the Sleeping Beauty Castle. It also gets an overlay. It's decked out. And what's really cool is in the evening, it goes through a winter enchantment show where there's music, there's lights.
Oh my gosh.
And then at the end of it, the snow falls. And so it's like a magical feeling, like snow in California, right?
I know, I was going to say.
Yeah. So,
Truly magical.
Exactly. I mean, I still get chills every time. It's one of my favorite moments for sure. Something
Oh
to
my
look forward to.
goodness. Now, another awesome thing that happens here at Disneyland is the Disney Festival of the Holidays. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, this takes place at California Adventure, and it's super special and unique because it celebrates the different diverse cultural festivities around this time of the year. Christmas, Hanukkah, Diwali, Kwanzaa, it's really great, and you get to celebrate it through music, shows, entertainment. And then my personal favorite, the food.
Yes.
Right?
Always the food.
Yeah, always the food, right? And last year they had these sip and savor passes, which were really great because you get to try out the different cultural foods and beverages, at a slight discount. So it's a great way to, go around and taste all the different offerings that are there at this festival.
Now, it's not just there where we're getting all those little tasty treats. There's seasonal treats that we can look forward to, right?
Exactly. So again, the food, at the Disneyland Resort, it's the best. Okay, so this is my opinion, and I think a lot of people share it, but I think Disneyland has the best churros.
Amen.
I've heard. I'm going to confirm today.
I'll agree with you on that.
And so during the holiday season, they have different flavors of churros. So some of my favorites in the past have been the loaded toffee, the gingerbread churros, the cherry chocolate churros. And so, the food is special. It's unique. It's something that we look forward to every year.
Oh my gosh, now my stomach's growling, but it's not holiday season just yet, so we just have to wait. But we talked about one coast. I think it's time to go to the other coast. Jennifer, do you agree? Let's talk about Walt Disney World.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sitting over here getting a little jealous about all these Disneyland overlays, but then I
As you should
reminded
be.
myself,
As you should be.
okay now. But Disney World has a few of our own. So the Jungle Cruise transforms into the Jingle Cruise, and those seasonal puns are on point. It's so fun to experience as a family. All heights, all ages will enjoy that one. As well, they will also enjoy Living with the Land, the Merry and Bright Nights. This is kind of a sleeper hit, but
I love it.
yeah, everybody seems to enjoy it. I would recommend doing it. It's at EPCOT at the Land Pavilion. So before or after you experience Soarin'.
Brilliant.
And it's just a slow boat ride with lights. I mean, it's gorgeous. Everybody loves it.
Everybody loves that. Now,
Yeah.
another cool thing that I personally love is at Disney Springs, there's something magical going on with Christmas trees. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Oh, absolutely. So the Christmas trees really pop up overnight all around the resort in early November. But my family's favorite place to see the maximum number of trees is at Disney Springs. So there's the Christmas tree Stroll, and this is a scavenger hunt event that you can get a complimentary map with a sheet of stickers and then go throughout Disney Springs trying to find these theme trees and match the sticker on the map. So super fun. At the end, if you complete the map, then you redeem a pin that everybody wears with pride. And for me personally, I really enjoy this activity because it gets my kids from the marketplace area of Disney Springs all the way to the West End. So instead of hanging out at the Lego store, World of Disney, which are great, but mama needs to get the Christmas shopping done. Let's go. And no wines when we tie it into that Christmas tree stroll. Such a fun tradition.
That's so smart to do it that way. And I love those trees. They're always so beautiful. The Princess Tiana tree that they had in the past was so
And they're going to have some new ones this year, I heard. So I can't wait to see
That's
what they
so
think of.
exciting. Now, it's not just the trees, but it's also gingerbread houses that we may get to see at Walt Disney World.
Absolutely. The Sugar Plum Fairy visits Disney hotels each year, and we saw some of her worker bees setting the foundation last year at the Grand Floridian. And it was so neat to then see just a couple weeks later, 800 pounds of flour later,
Oh my gosh.
the gingerbread display at the Grand Floridian. I mean, this is a life-size storybook gingerbread house. You can actually buy gingerbread. There's a large selection of things available for purchase. So you could purchase a shingle from the gingerbread house itself, which is a really cool souvenir. And it's just a really neat place to go. So I recommend like either a dining reservation if you want to walk over from Magic Kingdom one day or on a resort day. Certainly not just the Grand Floridian, you could also visit the Beach Club where they have a working gingerbread carousel. That's really cool. I mean, Wilderness Lodge, Boardwalk at the Animal Kingdom Lodge when I was there in December. I've never stood next to a giraffe, so I can't say life size, but it was a big giraffe. And then my daughter is a baker, so I was able to take home like a miniature giraffe from the quick
that
service.
for my kids too.
You got it too.
They loved it.
Such a great souvenir. The Contemporary has the gingerbread castle. Now I hope this comes back this year where you can actually get a take-home deluxe gingerbread kit available from the quick service Contempo Cafe there. I really hope that's a new tradition because I like to make gingerbread things at my house, and it makes me feel like I'm a part of that magic doing something at home.
Oh my gosh.
And the gingerbread reminds me of the gingerbread milkshake over at the Holiday Kitchens at EPCOT. I know you mentioned the Festival of the Holidays. Well, the EPCOT Festival of the Holidays, I think that the spirit of the season really enters through the heart, and the heart of Disney is storytelling. So the storytellers at World Showcase are just a must do. You know, as a mom, as my kids are walking around and learning about these holidays celebrated in different ways, it's a teaching moment that there's no better place in the world that I'd rather that happen than at Disney World. And so the storytellers throughout World Showcase, then I definitely recommend a stop at the Germany Train Village. Personally, a couple of years ago, I have a picture in mind of my father-in-law and my son just staring at that train village.
Oh my gosh.
That was the spark of inspiration, because fast forward to now, my father-in-law has a train table that he built with my son in their basement.
Wow.
It's up to 3 levels. We're looking to add some holiday overlays as well to that. But just knowing that spark of inspiration happened at Disney makes that such a special place for us. And then my happy place in the Festival of the Holidays is the candlelight processional.
Yes.
This is just the sound of the season, and the traditional Christmas story told with orchestra and a chorus. It speaks to me, that the music speaks to me. And this is a very popular entertainment event that takes place at the American Pavilion, American Adventure. And so because it's so popular, a lot of people do the candlelight dining packages.
Okay.
And that allows you, if you know that this is a must do, you can guarantee your seat at the candlelight processional and then enjoy a wonderful meal and kind of just have a little bit less stress with that.
Right.
This year, they actually offered a day of quick service candlelight dining package. So maybe they'll bring that back this year. I'm going to keep an eye on the Disney Parks blog for sure. But even if you don't get that front and center seat, you can experience the magic of that show just walking by. That was my first experience with it. It just stopped me in my tracks. I mean, just again, the sound and the storytelling, like that's where the heart of the holidays are. And, you know, the holidays at Disney, that's just the very merriest season of all.
It is, absolutely. And I love that you're talking about experiences, those core memories that we'll have forever. Now, I know being on the seas is another way to create those wonderful core memories. And the holidays are a big deal when it comes to Disney Cruise Line. Can you tell us more about that, Adrianna?
Yes, my family loves to create memories on the Disney Cruise Line. And one of our favorite memories was a very Merrytime cruise that we took as a family. And it's also beautifully decked, the ship. There are trees throughout. Some of them are themed to the certain areas that you're visiting on the ship. I also love the tree lighting ceremony that they have in the atrium. It's very beautiful. There's also an opportunity to view gingerbread displays as well. There's a competition that they do across the fleet. So each ship has their own from scratch gingerbread house, and it's lovely. The details are amazing, and you can really walk by and spot new things every time. In addition to that, there are some great activities to enjoy. One of our favorites was the Winter Wonderland celebration.
Okay.
This was an opportunity to hear songs, see dancing, and winter is involved on a cruise ship. So, there's a little Disney magic in there. I would recommend going to get a spot a little early, especially if you have little ones that want to maybe sit on the ground in the atrium. There are also several decks that have great views. So there's a lot of opportunities to see it. But I like to ask the crew members really what's a good time to show up? Maybe where's a good spot for my family?
So
and
smart.
I do this at Disneyland and Disney World as well with the cast members. If you're coming to view a parade or just anything, just ask, where's a good place to go? When do people start arriving? So you get that little help from them. They're so helpful. I love it. In addition to that, there are also some activities like crafts, holiday crafts. My family got to make gingerbread cookie men and then eat them. They were delicious, delightful. I love the photo opportunities as well with those Disney characters and their winter finery. I really love it. And something that I didn't know before we were on this sailing, a lot of families will coordinate holiday pajamas and go to breakfast in their pajamas and take pictures with Santa Claus wearing their pajamas. And honestly, it's a hoot. It's so funny to see, and I love it. I think it's a great tradition. So maybe keep it in mind if you're going to go on one of these sailings. My husband and I bought these onesie pajamas with hoods at the Disneyland Resort. They had Mickey waffles and holiday treats on them. We brought them on the ship because we thought, well, maybe this would be a fun photo opportunity for us. And we did. We got some great pictures. We also went to pick up our kids from the youth club, and they were mortified. They could not believe that Mom and Dad were quite so embarrassing. So we love it. Great moments, lots of fun memories. I also love if you're on an itinerary that visits Castaway Cay.
Okay.
They had their own special decorations there and music, and it's really, really a good time. Now, these sailings there are select sailings in November and December.
Okay.
They sail from Galveston, Miami, Port Canaveral, and San Diego, and yes, even on the Disney Wish.
Oh my gosh, so much to think about and so much to do on a Disney cruise. I don't think we realize that. Now, it's not just cruising on the Disney Cruise Line. There's also other options when it comes to cruising with Disney. Can you tell us more about Adventures by Disney?
I would love to. So, that meme that's like, if you're holiday shopping for me, I wear a 7-night trip to Walt Disney World.
Yes, I know.
Okay, I'm upping my game. I wear an Adventures by Disney Christmas market cruise. It is incredible, some of the itineraries that they offer that specifically highlight the Christmas markets in Europe. They're beautiful opportunities to shop and buy treats, and then Europe is behind you in the background, just really something out of a storybook, and it's definitely on my bucket list for sure.
Oh my gosh. And I couldn't even just imagine giving your family that gift of like an Adventures by Disney river cruise. And that's like the big gift for the year. It warms your heart just thinking about it. And you get so excited. So you've gotten me excited. I think I need to find that meme and share it.
Someday. We're putting it out there. We're going to do it.
Yes. Yay. Okay. Sadly, it's almost time to go. I know.
We don't want to leave.
I know.
want to
But
stay.
before we go, we're going to do a lightning round. Okay, so you guys are ready? You're gonna give me the answer that comes to your mind as soon as I ask you the question, all right? And we're gonna start with Adrianna. You're gonna be first?
Yes.
Jennifer, then Jen.
Got it.
Real fast, ready? Let's go. All right, Halloween time or holiday time at Disney destinations?
Halloween time.
Okay.
Holiday.
Holiday.
Oh, very interesting. Favorite seasonal snack?
Oh, I love the cozy cone macarons that are usually in Disneyland. Or no, I'm sorry, in California Adventure Park.
Yes.
And they're over in Cars Land, and they have these cute little spooky faces that match the decor in Cars Land at Halloween time.
Oh
And
my
they're
gosh.
sometimes in different flavors, but they're always delicious.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Gingerbread salted caramel buttercream cookie sandwich.
Wow.
Available from Caramel Couche in the Germany Pavilion of EPCOT's World Showcase. Now available year round.
Oh my
That's your halfway to the
gosh.
holidays treat. Mobile order recommended.
Oh, hot tip.
Yep.
I mean, for me, I mentioned before the holiday churros, and there's so many different kinds, and they're throughout the resort. So it's good to kind of go hunting and see what you can find.
Okay, I like all those answers. Now, favorite seasonal event or offering?
Halloween on the High Seas cruise.
Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
Okay,
And for me, it's Oogie Boogie Bash for sure.
all right. I knew it.
Why did you guys say the holidays were your favorite time? Like Halloween time, come on.
I know.
It's the
Okay.
soundtrack for me. The soundtrack. The immersive.
Okay, favorite seasonal souvenir?
An ornament.
I agree. A personalized ornament at Disney's Days of Christmas at Disney Springs or Ye Olde Christmas Shop at Magic Kingdom.
And for us, we collect the holiday Mickey and Minnie plushes. You know, every year it's a little bit different, so that's what we go for. Yeah.
Cute.
Oh, that's so awesome. Okay, a not to miss holiday tip.
There are so many opportunities for photo ops on the Disney Cruise Line. And so if you want to buy an unlimited digital photo package, do it in advance and you get a
Oh.
discount.
Okay.
And then you've got all those digital photos to share or make cards with. It's good.
Seriously, great minds think alike. I was just thinking that because with at Disney World, an advanced memory maker purchase, same thing. It gets a discount and then you have unlimited downloads for as many holiday card options as possible.
Brilliant.
And for me, it's those special ticketed events. You know, make sure to mark your calendar so that way you won't miss out, especially on if you want to go on specific days.
Okay, this is a good one. Last one. Favorite holiday memory at a Disney destination?
Okay. On a Halloween on the High Seas voyage, my family dressed up as Snow White characters. I was Snow White and my daughter was the evil queen. And she just stepped into that villain role like a champ. I have this memory of her in front of a giant mirror and she's got her arms thrown up in that villain face and just, it was perfect.
That sounds amazing. Okay, so Thanksgiving at Disney, Grandpa's homemade cinnamon rolls, thanks to our kitchen at Saratoga Springs, watching the Thanksgiving Day parade, parading down Main Street, USA, and turkey dinner at Liberty Tree Tavern. It was our family traditions with a magical twist.
And for us, we were at, this was actually at Walt Disney World. We just ate at Be Our Guest restaurant. And then my daughter was 3 at the time. So my wife, myself, and my daughter, you know, we stepped out and then the holiday fireworks were on. And then just looking at my daughter's face and, you know, like, I think this is the Disney magic, right? Seeing the wonder in their eyes, like literally,
Yes.
I think that like, there's no words for that. And that just kind of like filled my heart and was like, this is why we do Disney.
Oh my gosh.
This is why.
Perfect ending. Those are all great answers. Thank you guys so much. And thank you for tuning in to this episode of the planDisney podcast. Now, you can see a new episode of the planDisney podcast every third Wednesday of the month. And if you're enjoying the podcast, leave us a review. In the meantime, if you're looking for more Disney planning tips and insights, make sure to follow planDisney Panel on Instagram and planDisney on Twitter. And if you have a question of your own, come on over to planDisney.com and ask it. The panelists would love to help you. And for the latest news, go to Disney Parks blog. Now, in the meantime, I just want to say a big thank you to Master Gracie and the Happy Haunts here at the Haunted Mansion for hosting us today. And a big thank you to the panelists for all your great information. And also a big thank you to our sponsor, State Farm. I just hope no ghosts follow me home. Next month is Save the Galaxy time, and you don't want to miss it. But first, I need to blow out my birthday candles. See you next time.